Yeah.
And I've been very upset about how Nashville SC's finished this year. They just lost last night.
Last game of the season, wasn't it? Last night.
Last home game.
Last home game.
2 goals scored against them in 5 minutes.
Stoppage, yeah.
In stoppage. So
It feels like the soccer season is a long season.
It is.
it's
It's
very
like
long.
February top.
For,
Yeah.
But it feels long, like unnecessarily long, like for the amount of games that they play. Because how many games do they play?
Mid-season break where then there's a tournament that's not part of the regular season.
That's weird.
Yeah. So they have 17 home games. So they roughly play 34 games in the year.
Okay,
Right,
so
and it's
they
usually
play
one game a week.
double the games of the NFL.
Yes. That's why it's longer. But sometimes they play 2 games in a week, but usually it's 1 game a week.
Okay.
But Matt's right. Depending on what's going on that season, there might be a League Cup championship that takes a month of the season. League Cup meaning you're playing other teams from around the country
That's weird.
Or the globe.
or the globe.
It'll be like the NFL taking a month break to go play rugby in Australia.
But that's soccer. If you've grown up in soccer and you know soccer, you're going to have tournaments where you play outside teams just that's not in your league. And that's the way soccer is from an early age.
Oh well, yeah.
Tough.
From kids. I mean,
Yeah.
because they had the championship over here at Drake's Creek last weekend or weekend before last.
Yeah.
Only reason I know about it is because there's a couple food trucks over there that I wanted to go check. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known that it was over there.
love
but
it.
we're driving to the back. I haven't been to the back of the soccer field
Wait
since
a
Emma was
minute.
5.
Wait a minute. Do you go searching for food trucks at soccer tournaments?
Not as a habit. It just happened to.
did.
I just happened to see. I was scrolling and a food truck that I hadn't been to yet, a newer one.
Okay.
I thought just happened to be at Drake's Creek at the tournament.
I thought you were like, there's a soccer tournament in town. I bet they got good food trucks there.
It was the opposite. There was a food truck in town, and it happened to be at a soccer tournament.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I went to.
I could say that maybe I've thought about that a time or two, like big events, like having good food trucks and stuff. So,
Yeah.
anyways, let's get our guests introduced. You want to do that?
Do it. Hit it.
We got Sam Corley with us today. Sam's from my hometown or our town here, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. I know a little bit about you because we got kids that go to school together.
Yep.
We run across each other every year, it seems like, right? I knew of you as a realtor years ago,
Right.
right? You were good about posting your realtor stuff like realtors normally do.
Like we are. Like you turn the
Right?
light switch on, and it's cockroaches. It's
Yeah.
we're around.
Speaking of, we all know the post on Hip Hendersonville or whatever. Hey, do you know of a good realtor in
Right.
the area?
R.I.P. your inbox is always the comment. Like,
Lord have mercy. If somebody in 2024 is posting, "Do you know a good realtor?" on Facebook,
right.
and they're not already in your feed, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's done on purpose. We can talk about that later, though. I don't want to get away from
Yeah, I
it.
think you and I both.
It's
agree
done on
with that.
purpose,
Yeah.
I think. But I've lost my train of thought. So, Sam, I do them as a realtor. Are you still a realtor today? You still have your license?
I've retired my license because I got other stuff going on. My wife Jennifer still
Yeah.
is active, so I just shuffle my stuff her way and
Nice.
keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Got the
but,
referral in-house referrals going,
exactly
right?
right. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a few other irons in the fire. So I had to pull back on something,
Yeah.
and given the market, it was an easy choice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me
That's
just
true.
pull out for a minute. So
That's what she said.
No, she didn't. He did.
If she said that, we've got other
If
problems.
she said that, you've been hanging out with Diddy.
There it is, kids.
Yeah, I got there.
We'll talk about Diddy later. It's a good subject, by the way. So you're no longer have your license as a real estate agent.
Correct.
I know you're big, from what I see and talking to you, you're big into the foodie world. I think you're building some things around that, right?
Yeah.
That looks to be your passion.
Yeah.
When did that kind of take place for you? Where did the passion come from, and when did that shift for you?
Hey, I want to interrupt and go back.
Yeah.
What is a foodie?
So depending on who you're asking, you're going to get different answers. A foodie, in my opinion, a foodie is just somebody who likes good food, right? It could be 3 a.m. Taco Bell or bourbon steak on your anniversary. It could be anything. It's just good food.
Whatever hits the spot.
What you enjoy. Yeah, palates are different. Everybody has a different taste. So a foodie is going to be different depending on who you ask. But that's my take. Just somebody who enjoys good food. You know.
Can you be a foodie and not know it? And I mean, how do you come out and say that you're officially a foodie?
So the word foodie, it kind of has a negative connotation, right?
Yeah, I think
Oh, he's a
sometimes it
foodie.
does. Yeah.
You know, it's associated with, you know.
I think of it as like a audioholic or an audio snob. You know, how people are coined that phrase of being an audio snob.
Right, yeah. Like, man, you only can listen on LPs. The
Yeah.
fidelity is so much better.
Yeah.
You can't listen on CD. You lose.
Oh, that amp was only $500.
It's not going to be good enough.
It's not going to be good enough.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I like Sam's definition though, because in his definition, a foodie is just whatever
Just
you
enjoy
make it,
good food.
right? Like it doesn't have to be, bourbon steak. It could be, you could be a foodie and be a foodie that likes Taco Bell. And
Man, listen, it's
Burger King
October. It's Curter Burger month at Culver's. I love Curter Burgers, man. Have you had a Curter
I
Burger?
had one this past weekend.
Yeah,
tell me more.
It's a giant cheese curd patty on a butter burger. It's a Curter Burger.
Well, I had a butter burger, but not the curds on it.
okay.
But, so you're saying it's the curd on the burger?
Yeah,
like a grilled
big
cheese.
old.
It's
It's
a
like a
patty.
big old fried.
A fried patty.
Exactly.
of cheese.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started as an April Fool's joke, but they finally,
That's
the
awesome.
people won them over.
Yeah.
And they did it. I think maybe 3 or 4 years in a row now they've done it. So
I like when the people win on
I
things
do
like
too.
that.
I do too.
I thought the people went, like going back to Taco Bell, I thought the people won, and Taco Bell brought back the double-decker taco for like 2 months.
a minute, and it's gone again.
I'm like, this is so stupid. Taco Bell, if you're listening,
Bring back the Mexican
Bring it
melt,
back.
please.
The Mexi Melt.
Mexi Melt,
Yeah, that was my
double-decker
favorite.
taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sam.
Okay, so
We can talk. Hey, I think the great thing about Sam being here and being a foodie, and
Yes, sir.
I mean, to the point of the discussion, everybody loves to think and talk about food.
Yeah. No offense to
Right.
anybody who's been on the show already or future guests. This is probably going to be one of mine and Jason's favorites because we're going to get to talk about food for an hour. So,
Yeah,
and we're going to be all over the place, I think, because it's about food. So,
true. Because you're here today,
yeah.
we'll be all over the place.
Well, that's normal. Squirrel.
So, my question was kind of when you thought that shift and why you went to foodie land,
Yeah.
versus real estate land.
Sure. Yeah.
How'd
well,
that
and the pullback on real estate has been pretty recent. So there was really no correlation there per se. But in 2018, we also have a shared passion for Disney. I know you guys go to Disney a lot. We go to Disney a lot. And we got back from a trip to Disney, and I had started a food group for Disney food. And I got back from a trip one year. It was 2018, and I asked a local chef friend. Said, man, there's not really anything like this in Nashville. Do you think that it's worth doing what we're doing for Diz Foodies for Nashville? It's like, yeah, do it. Let's go. So it started out really as just me and like maybe 20.
That was
20
a
of my
local chef
buddies.
here?
Local chef here.
Okay.
Yeah. 20 of my friends and I. That's who we started the group. There was maybe 20 of us, if
Yep.
that I'm overestimating. Just a place to post what we were finding, where we were finding it, because the Nashville food scene in 2018 was vastly different from, even 5-10 years prior. So there's a lot of new stuff coming up, a lot of good food, a lot of chefs moving to Nashville, acclaimed chefs, beard winners, all that kind of thing. So it was kind of we hit it right at the right time, right?
Nashville was becoming the it town.
It was, yeah. So even, 2018 compared to now is still night and day compared to what it was in 2018. But it was just accidental, total accident.
Sometimes the best things are.
They are. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So what started as 20 friends just post, because you can't put all that stuff on your personal Facebook because your friends are going to start unfollowing you. Man, quit posting pictures of your crab legs. We don't care anymore after the 30th post.
That was a thing for a bit, though.
Yeah.
Crab
So,
legs?
again, going back to the
Posting your food.
you know,
Okay,
going back to the statement that Foodies kind of has a negative connotation because it was just everywhere all at once. So that was kind of on purpose to have a certain spot. Facebook group was the way we went. It was just easiest at the time to communicate, and groups are better for interaction and community and things like that. So that was 2018, June of 2018. So just over 6 years ago, and we're almost at 66,000 members now. So it kind of
I thought you were coming up on 70,000 members. Yeah.
getting close. Yeah, we had about 1,000 a month.
Just on
give or take.
it's just on Facebook, right? No.
So we're on other platforms, but again, it's super community based, right? And I feel like groups, whether it's Facebook or text chats or whatever it is, I feel like those cater more to community. It's easier interaction. It's better to you can't get to know somebody through an Instagram post.
Yeah,
That's the best thing about Facebook, I think, is the groups.
The groups. That's the
And
only reason I'm
Marketplace.
still on Facebook.
I was gonna say Mark.
if it wasn't for groups in general and specifically FON, I would have left Facebook a long time ago. But,
So it started out for you. You said as Disney Foodies, Diz Foodies,
Diz
right?
Foodies, yeah.
Is that still a focus of yours at all too?
I mean, it still exists.
Okay.
It's a much smaller. Disney is so saturated, right?
Yeah.
I think that's another reason that FON has been so successful is we filled a hole, right? There wasn't anything. There were a few groups. They weren't active. They were super small. So I think we just filled a gap. Versus the Diz Foodies group, like I said, it still exists. I think we're around 5,000 members. Yeah. But it's such a saturated market. It's like trying to be a realtor in Nashville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Super saturated. Everybody's a blogger. Everybody's a Disney fan. So
Well, isn't the food? I kind of like to think that the food is better in Nashville than Disney, anyways.
I would say so.
What's your thought on that?
I mean, it depends on where you go. There's some good food at Disney.
Okay.
I mean, there's a few spots on
You know all the
property
spots
that,
at Disney, though. If I was going to Disney to eat, I would contact you and say,
I
hey,
hope you would.
Because
I don't want you to eat chicken nuggets and hot dogs all week. I want you to go have a lamb shank at Hollywood Brown Derby.
That sounds
way
good.
better. I mean, no offense to Casey's. I love a Casey's dog, in Magic Kingdom, but I'd rather go to, Victoria and Albert's has a Michelin star. They're the top spot for food at Disney. So
yeah, I think the thought of a lot of people that's only been to a park once or twice, they're just used to standard park food.
Sure.
And they don't really think that Disney is good and well known for their food.
Right.
Right.
And
So
even as good as some of the food is, it's still a theme park. So you're not going to go to even their signature dining locations and get French Laundry level meals.
Yeah.
But it's not just chicken nuggets and pizza and hot
There's
dogs.
there's other options.
Good options. You got to know where to find them. You got to got to know a guy who'll say, "Hey, go over here."
Yeah. So you mentioned knowing a chef or two here in the area. Was that part of your drive and starting it?
Not really. It genuinely was just, hey, I have a lot of food pics on my phone. I need to put them somewhere. Now, of course, through Foodies of Nashville, I've been, honored to meet a lot of, I could list a bunch of names of chefs and culinary, giants in Nashville. I would forget somebody, then I'd get in trouble. But there's a ton of talent in Nashville, and I'm honored to know a lot of them.
Yeah. Don't you have some nicknames as the foodie king? What's the nicknames that you have out there?
So
tell us about those.
Yeah, I need to know.
Probably the one that you're referring to was, having a group of 65,000 people. There's going to be a few nuts, right?
You think?
Once in a while they poke their head out, and we have to we try to be as drama free as possible, and there's enough real life problems to have to bring stuff into a fun culinary group. Recently, a former member of Foodies of Nashville decided that she was, I shouldn't have said she, I should have just left it.
That person.
But anyway,
that
particular person decided that they chose violence that morning and kind of came after me for whatever reason. I don't even remember why.
Violence?
Well, not physical violence.
Okay. I was like, tell us
Just
more.
throwing forks at me.
They chose keyboard violence.
Right.
Okay.
Keyboard violence.
Okay.
So I don't even really remember what the situation was, but she was in the group, it's like, okay, we got to get you out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was private messages through Facebook. And it's like, lady, God bless you, but I've got real life problems.
Yeah, this is
She called me, or it was a dig, right? It was a diss. She's like, well, you're not the Dom of Nashville. It's like, okay, you're right. I'm not. First of all, I don't think that's the word you're looking for. But
don't think that's where you're going.
That's been the running joke for the last few months is the Dom.
Sam Corley.
Are you going to change your Twitter and Instagram handle?
Probably not.
No.
the Dom?
Probably not. Especially with all this Diddy stuff going on.
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to be
might.
known as
You might not.
the Dom. I think I'll steer clear of.
Yeah, you might want to steer clear of that.
So anyway,
So how difficult is it with a Facebook group of almost 70,000 members to keep up with everything? You have a large group that helps
Yeah.
you?
we
said
have,
20.
including myself, there's 6 admins total. Great team. They help me out a lot. They're not as out front. They're my back of house team, right?
It's not their day job.
To keep it on the culinary side. It's not their day job. None of them. It's none of them. One's an attorney. One's a graphic artist. My wife's a realtor. Another realtor, and then a retail worker. So they all have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And FON pays really, really poorly. So it's a labor of love. It's all it's all volunteer based. But they help me out a lot. The group itself is it's self-policing. Our members, for the majority of our members, are no nonsense. Nip stuff in the bud really quick.
Isn't that because of your leadership and direction?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, we try to set the tone.
Yeah,
right?
I think you do a good job of that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we try to set the tone, and we're not here to bash people. We're not here to start drama. So we try to set that tone. Most of our members pick up what we're putting down, and they kind of follow along.
Or else they'll
and
leave
then
and go somewhere else.
when something does happen, which isn't often, but if and when something happens, it's handled pretty quick.
This should be about the food.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah, the thing that I've recognized with Sam and the group is they want you talking positively about your experiences and don't, not that they won't accept you saying you had a bad food experience, but they don't want you pooping on someone else's
thoughts.
Like if somebody on his group is saying, I had the best meal at Chili's.
Taco Bell.
Or Taco Bell.
It's the best double-decker taco
And if
that I've had in years.
if somebody comes on there and says,
You're
their
an
food
idiot.
is so crap, you're an idiot, then Sam's going to be quick to...
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's twofold, right? Because you don't want to rate on somebody else's parade.
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody has a different palate.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most subjective topics in the world is food.
For
What
sure.
one person likes, the other one might not. It's very subjective. So if you like double-decker tacos, more power to you, man.
Great.
Have as many as you want.
Yes.
I'm just going to, I happen to like them too. But let's say I didn't.
Yep.
Who am I to tell you that you're wrong? Your
Spot
taste
on.
buds are not my taste buds, right?
Yep. I agree.
So the other side of the coin is we don't shy away from less than positive reviews. If you have a bad experience somewhere, you're welcome to share that with the whole class. But there's a difference between saying that place sucks
Yes.
and that particular dish wasn't to my liking because ... right? I didn't realize that it had cilantro in it. Should have ordered it without.
Yeah,
It
cilantro's
tastes
not my
like
thing.
soap to me or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I happen to like cilantro, but I know that there's plenty
There's a lot of people
don't.
that think it tastes like Dawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Diddy.
love cilantro.
I do too. I do too. But that is a common. A lot of people will say that about
Yeah.
cilantro. You know.
Yeah. And I'm always confused when people say they don't like cilantro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's great.
And some people don't. But
Yeah.
So there's a
That's a
difference
good point.
between, be constructive with your criticism, right?
Yeah.
Don't just get on and go to town because you had a bad experience. It's fine if you did, tell us about it, but why? What was there's always two sides to every story. And there's always other circumstances. And a lot of times people leave a bad review and it's not only is it one-sided, but they don't. In the moment, maybe you're like, maybe you're a little more heated than you should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And do you feel, Sam, that sometimes someone's evaluation of a restaurant and or the meal that they had at a restaurant also revolves around the service that they had?
1,000%.
I've always felt that.
I will never go back to a place. I don't care how good your food is. If the service is beyond the pale, I'm probably not going to come back, at least for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a minute to get over it.
Preach, Brother Sam.
But that's pretty rare. I mean, you can have
you
can have less than stellar service, and it's fine.
Yes.
But if we were at a restaurant one time and it was at Disney. We happened to be using the dining plan on this trip. This was years ago. Our servers, I don't know if you know anything about the Disney dining plan, it has a negative connotation because a lot of people on that tend not to leave a gratuity.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's kind of a prepaid dining plan. A lot of folks that are on it, they don't think to tip. They think everything's paid for, you're done, they leave, server gets stiffed. Bad move.
Yep.
So one time we were at a restaurant on property. As soon as they found out, our server, that we were on the dining plan, the whole demeanor changed. And it was awful from there on out. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So it's rare. It does happen. It's pretty rare.
But your food was still good.
Food was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it turned me off of that place for a while. We didn't go back for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's ask a question that maybe the people want to know, your followers. Is Sam going to open up a restaurant?
Never, ever.
That's where I was going. Do you
Okay.
cook also?
Well, I mean, I do. I'm not. I used to joke I don't have a culinary bone in my body. I do at home. You know, I can grill a mean steak. We do seafood. We do. We do cook at home.
get by.
Contrary to popular belief, we do
Yeah.
eat at home once in
Yeah.
a while.
Do
We do.
Yeah.
Usually it's leftovers from other restaurants, but we do cook at home. I enjoy cooking certain things. Cooking is not for the faint of heart. It's a tough job to get it right and be consistent, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have no desire to open a restaurant, ever. Those guys margins are so thin, it's hard to stay in business. Most restaurants fail within the first 3 years. It's a tough gig, man. It's hard. And I want to support all of my favorite restaurants as a consumer.
That's great.
But I don't want to be in competition with them.
Doesn't it like blow you away sometimes when restaurants are successful for so
For so long.
Not talking franchise restaurants, but
Yeah.
you go to the beach or wherever and it's like the same restaurant's been going for like 40 years and it's still good.
I'll mention
and it's
one
still-
that's in Nashville, Arnold's Country Kitchen.
Yeah.
We just went for brunch this last weekend. Arnold's opened in, I think it was 83, if I'm not mistaken. Jack Arnold in Rose.
Didn't they
opened
close
in
down for a bit?
They did. Yeah,
Okay.
they closed.
They reopened.
They were going to sell the building, and they closed for a short time, and it was mutiny.
Yes.
Everybody in Nashville.
people demanded.
Even people that had never been to Arnold were mad.
Wait a minute.
Everybody was mad.
Yeah.
So after a few months, they decided to reopen as a pop-up. Right. They were going to do. I think it was Thanksgiving last year. They were just going to do a week of Thanksgiving meals. They did that. Closed again. But Khalil, Jack's son, opened for the long haul. They're in it for the long haul. They're actually getting ready to open a second location over in West Nashville on I can't think of what street it's going to be on. But anyway,
You said a pop-up. Are they not in the same spot?
same building.
Same building, okay.
I say pop up as a general term. They were open. It was temporary, just for a week of meals.
They did that Arnold's After Dark too for a little while.
Yeah, and I hope that they bring that back because I never got to do that
Yeah.
while they were doing that. So I hope he does that again. But yeah, I mean,
Isn't that wild
longevity is
that- isn't that
crazy.
wild,
yeah,
though? 'Cause,
and,
like,
and
sometime-
well loved in
Yes.
Nashville, and just
it becomes a staple. You know?
Correct,
It's like,
yeah.
man, and I think most people know that the restaurant business is so difficult.
Sure.
But when it's done right, or when somebody gets it right,
right,
it's almost fail-proof.
right.
Well, it's usually because it's a family business and something happens to the family, or you know
That's
what I mean?
true,
yeah.
Like the father passes, or the
happens.
mom,
And the
or
kids don't
something.
want to do it
Kids
or
don't wanna do
whatever.
it.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with Erica. We go out to eat a lot, and we were joking that our destination is often decided by what's opening or what's closing.
Yeah.
There's just so much rotation here. In Nashville.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, people that aren't from here, growing up here, that as great as the music scene is, food scene might be better.
Yeah, and it's absolutely getting better. I mean, it's
Every day.
Yeah, we're not New Orleans.
No.
Right? We're not New York. We're not San Francisco. But we're not Chicago. I mean, I can name other great food cities in the U.S. Never mind, Lyon, France, or some places outside of the states. But it's going better. I mean, we're attracting talent like Sean Brock, right? Who from Asheville, if I'm not mistaken, originally, but he's got 3 spots in Nashville now, and I mean we have
This is
some
a
heavy,
well-known chef. I don't know.
yeah,
of him.
Sean Brock, yeah.
Okay.
So probably I'm trying to think. Audrey and June, both in East Nashville. He's done
Continental.
yeah, the Continental.
And,
thank you.
Joyland.
Yeah, and Joyland is in East Nashville too. They do smash burgers and stuff like that. It's a pretty good spot.
Sounds like a good spot.
But I mean, there's. I told you I was gonna start naming names, and I'm gonna forget somebody and
That's okay.
get in trouble. But I mean, Nashville has the food scene. It speaks for itself, right? You see
sure.
the talent that's coming to Nashville. It's for a reason. And I mean, I like to say that all ships rise with the tide. So
You got to be better when you got that competition.
absolutely.
know?
Yeah.
So Chad and myself, we did a burger tour a few months back. You might have seen that. We're talking about doing a barbecue tour.
Yes. We're going to mix
The
it
barbecue
up.
scene, I think, is up and coming. in
Yeah,
Nashville.
well, I mean, the kind of the Burger Week thing was brought on by the Nashville scene doing their Burger Week every year.
Yeah.
Which kind of, we were almost joking when we started it, and we were like, well, we should do it. No pun. We think we bit off more than we could chew. I mean, we ate a lot of burgers that week, so it was, a task. But we've kind of thought, man, there's like so much fun stuff to go eat. We enjoy eating. Why not do barbecue?
Sure.
Nashville's not Memphis, so don't get it mistaken. Nashville's not Kansas City.
Sure.
Nashville's not Texas, but there's some really good barbecue here.
Yeah. I agree.
So we think we're going to do that tour, and then we know we've got the hot chicken week comes up once a year also.
Local
We'll do that
chef week might be a good one too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Our goal is to give back to the business community, right?
Yeah.
We help businesses with technology.
Right.
And if we can showcase those companies, right? I
we've-
think it's a good thing.
And through doing Burger Week, we met some really cool people.
Oh yeah.
Like some owners of
And
restaurants.
probably some spots that you wouldn't have otherwise known about, right?
Prior to Burger Week, I guess I'll name one. Shane Nasby at Cletus. Like
That's my man right
we
there.
had never heard of Cletus.
Yeah.
It was on the list. Randomly, we're like, that burger looks good. Let's go try it.
Chose it as number one spot.
It was our favorite burger.
Yeah.
And one of our favorite dudes out of the whole deal.
Yeah.
We've ended up being able to help work on some things with him from a business standpoint. It's like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
It was a fun experience, I think, for all of us.
Yeah.
And
he's opening a new location in
opening
Bellevue.
a new
right?
spot in Bellevue.
Yeah.
So
I had a jam box last night.
Yeah.
So
he's got a
The
sandwich
second
shop.
concept, Jam Box is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Shane.
Yeah.
But it kind of made us want to do
Some other
tours
food tour,
like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I think you were talking about barbecue. I think what's cool about Nashville, again, going back to people coming here from other regions, Nashville is not known for barbecue.
Nope.
But we have a little bit of everything.
That's right.
We've got, you want Kansas City ribs? We
Yeah,
got it.
got a spot.
You want brisket? You want
Yeah.
Texas brisket? We got it.
Yes.
You want, those of you that, for whatever reason, God love you, like vinegar-based barbecue from the Carolinas, we've got it.
There's a spot. Yeah.
I don't care for it personally. It's okay. I'll eat it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's cool that we have a little bit. Well, Nashville barbecue sucks. Well, first of all, Nashville doesn't have barbecue. There's no such thing as Nashville barbecue.
The only
Right. But
Nashville
we have
barbecue is
a
what the
little bit of
dudes are doing at their house.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Like you might go to Gallatin and find a local spot, or you might go somewhere in Spring Hill and there'll be a little small restaurant. But Nashville is not
Sure.
barbecue.
Right.
Nashville is hot chicken.
Nashville is meat and
What'd you
threes
say?
and hot
Meat
chicken.
and threes.
Yeah.
That is the way to put it.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
At
like I
the-
said, we have a little bit of everything. Thank God that people are moving here and bringing stuff
sure.
to us. But Nashville is hot chicken and
meat and threes.
That's
And
it.
there's meat and threes in every small town that
all
borders
over the
Nashville
place.
too.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. They ought to, and they're included in Foodies of Nashville.
They are. They are.
So does Foodies of Nashville include beer, alcohol, or I know you're
Sure.
you're a bourbon connoisseur, right?
I love me some brown water.
He likes the brown
I
spirit.
I do like bourbon, rye,
Yeah.
American whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like bourbon. It's not a focus of the group, but once in a while, we'll post about it. There's great distilleries in Nashville.
Yeah.
We're not too far from the Bourbon Trail.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
We're close to Louisville. So we've got a little once in a while we'll post about, hey, what are you drinking?
Yeah. You got another group for that, don't you? Or maybe the Sumner.
That's not my. I mean, I'm in that.
You're
group.
in their group?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a few bourbon groups out there that are
Okay.
great that I'm happy to be a part of from a member standpoint,
Yeah.
and just share what I'm drinking once in a while. But
At the heart of it though, like that's in a lot of ways, it's part of the meal.
of course, yeah.
It's part of the meal experience.
Yeah, especially if you're going out for a date night or
Date
fine
night.
dining experience.
Yeah.
I always like to start with a cocktail or some sort of
Yeah.
bourbon drink. And
Yeah.
it's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are adult beverage pairings with certain foods. Jason and I talk about it all the time. I am a man of raw oysters and an ice cold beer is that's those two belong together. I like pizza and a beer. There's just certain
Let's
things.
name all the foods we can drink or eat with beer.
Okay.
Pizza, burgers, tacos.
Tacos are real Mexican food in general.
And a like a Modelo Negra.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm there. What time?
We're going
Burgers.
burgers for sure.
Yeah.
A burger and a beer, hot dog and a beer.
Hot dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretzel and a beer?
Pretzel and a beer.
I'm not a big pretzel guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it goes together.
they're
That's
fine.
all I'm saying.
Right? Like a pretzel's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Oktoberfest is coming up.
Yeah.
It is.
Get you some
Yeah.
sausage and a beer.
Yeah. See, there's more.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some people might want it for breakfast.
I mean,
Eggs,
Maybe.
steak and eggs and beer.
I don't discriminate.
Yeah. I mean, again, back to Sam's original point. We've all got different taste buds.
We do.
Yeah.
So tell us about, I see your hat, Giving Kitchen.
Yeah.
I know you're a huge proponent of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the folks that are listening that don't know about Giving Kitchen,
Sure.
tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, so I'm happy to sit on their engagement council for Nashville. I don't work for them, but I work with them. We've partnered for a bunch of stuff with FON. They are a food and beverage industry based charity.
Okay.
Nonprofit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with like Music Cares, who's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
in
yeah.
Nashville for
Yeah.
years and years and years. It's really it's not unlike a Music Cares for food service workers, right? Food service workers typically don't have 401ks.
Yeah.
They typically don't have retirement plans. They make money when they're physically working, and that's
Yeah.
it, right? So if somebody breaks their ankle and can't work for 6 weeks,
Yeah.
they're probably pretty close to homeless by the time they get back to work.
Yeah.
So Giving Kitchen can step in for those folks, take care of their light bill, rent, utilities, medical
That's awesome.
expenses, things like that. So they're based out of Atlanta, so not too far from us. They have a presence in Nashville. They've got a presence in Charlotte. They're expanding to Chicago and other areas. But they're a great.
But most of their care is centered in the Southeast. And they're
I would say
looking to
that
expand.
the Southeast region, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Now they'll help anybody anywhere in the States. If somebody calls them from Seattle and needs help, they're going to help them.
Okay.
So,
Good.
but they operate mostly in the Southeast.
Okay.
But yeah, great organization for sure.
So we talked a little bit about the Nashville food scene. Where do we think that's going? I think Nashville is the new LA of the South. That's what I've said for a number of years. I don't think it's hit its peak yet.
There's a lot of lip filler in Nashville.
There
That's
is.
Like if you go to Broadway
Yeah.
or anywhere,
Anywhere. Yeah.
counties,
The Gulch.
the Gulch, counties that border Nashville in the South,
Yeah.
lots of lip filler.
I think Nashville has not is not anywhere near its peak yet. And
I
from-
agree. No, I agree. We have a long way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to some of these other food cities,
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw a list that had Nashville at like number, I don't know, something teen, 18, 20, some.
As far as food cities go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree with that probably. I saw another list that had us a little higher. I'm like, hey, pump the brakes.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love Nashville. I love the food scene.
Top
But
15 on the poll somewhere.
We're still growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things with Nashville, I think for years and years is ethnicity wise, culture wise, we didn't get a lot of the other folks to move into Nashville to create maybe that food scene.
That's my
Right?
take. I think that we're edging more, maybe going toward the more ethnic food scene. I think that's kind of at least that's where I hope it goes.
Yeah.
I do too.
I mean, I would love to see more African influences. I would love to see more Asian influences.
Yeah.
There's really
We got a new Thai place going in too. by
they're
the way.
open.
Are they open? Have you been yet?
I snuck over for their soft
I want
opening.
to try it.
It's
Is
good.
it, is it good?
It's good.
Okay, because I miss Blossom Cellar.
I miss it so
Yeah.
much.
The Blossom.
the
That
Blossom
was my
not,
spot.
yeah.
yeah.
That was my spot.
Blossom not being here is sad
Yeah.
for
I know.
Hendersonville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Thai Orchid was really great. We went Sunday night, thanks to a Foodies of Nashville member who happened to drive by, saw that they were open, stopped in. They happened to be doing an unannounced soft opening. So I found out about it, and I don't know if you saw Jennifer's post recently, but she said one of the benefits to being married to me and running FON was me. She said, Sam says, did you see this new restaurant opened? She just immediately gets up and gets dressed because
Yeah,
she
it's
knows
like,
we're going.
we're going.
We're
Yeah.
going. Like I found out we're going. It's 5 minutes from the house. We're gonna go.
Sam,
Yeah.
do you ever not want to go out and eat?
If I'm sick, if I've got a cold or a flu,
Yeah.
or if I'm just not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's rare. I almost always want to go. I'm a ride or
Yeah.
die.
Well, I mean, yeah. Let's say your belly just doesn't feel right that day. Are you still going?
I'm still going.
Okay. But
Yeah.
you
And if I
maybe eat
get
a little-
sick later, I'm not blaming it on the food.
No, he's
if
gonna
I have
just
a
deal
bad
with it.
oyster and I get sick, I'm not going to stop eating oysters.
Yeah. Just gonna
Right.
deal with it.
I'll
Yeah.
get over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to
So
say
you
that-
are ride or die.
I used to say that.
I'm going. I'm telling you, I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going.
People be like, "Why do you eat all that Mexican food and then you're going to go have a big summer blowout when you get done?" I'm like,
Because it tastes good.
because it, yeah. I mean, you just
Makes
get
me
a-
happy.
Yeah, cause and effect.
Right.
So the Nashville scene, you said more African food, more Asian food.
I hope. Yeah.
What else do you think we need to be more to move up that list from 18 to top 10?
I mean, I could probably name
Seafood or
probably some. I mean, seafood is people always say, well, we're a landlocked state. You're not going to find any good seafood.
You can now.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you can fly it in overnight from.
Yeah.
I mean, sea salt, rest in peace.
Yeah.
One of my
They
favorites
did.
in Hendersonville. They had 24, 48 hour from
Yeah.
sea to table. Right. I mean, it can be
Yeah.
done.
I love catch in Hendersonville
Yeah,
now.
catch is great.
It's-
you.
it's great.
You can
And it's the
overnight.
same.
It's going to be a little bit pricier
Yeah. But
here
but
than it
can't-
will be in Maryland to get
Yeah.
lobster or whatever
Yeah.
because it's right there on the water.
We got to pay for the shipping
Exactly. So, but it can be done, and it is being done in Nashville.
and done
So,
well.
well, our area, I think in Sumner County, we used to not be able to take care of a restaurant like that, right, for years
Yeah.
because of the extra cost. But I think we're getting there.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing some of these major brands come here in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So I think
so.
we're getting there slowly.
I
We're
think
not
we
we're
are.
not a Franklin maybe yet, but
Yeah.
But if the ability to get a reservation is any indication, we looked at getting a reservation for last weekend at Catch, and it was, I mean, booked solid all weekend.
Right.
So I'm like, good.
Right.
I want it to be booked solid. all
Absolutely.
weekend. You're like,
speaking of that, we have a business meal
Yeah.
planned there for 10 people
Yeah.
in a couple of weeks, right?
yeah, I
So
think
it
you'll-
might be my first time going, so I'm
think you'll
looking forward
enjoy
to it.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
It's a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
Chef Eric, who is the sous over there, I think he's the sous. Maybe I don't know what his title is. I don't want to speak for him.
Okay.
But Chef Eric was at Sea Salt.
Okay.
So Paige was from Sea Salt. She's the bar.
Okay. not the
manager.
same ownership.
Not
or
the same
anything?
ownership. No,
Okay.
completely different.
But they kind of opened at the same time the other one was shutting down, right?
It was
very,
It was
very close.
really
It was
close.
pretty close.
Yeah.
They
Raised
saw
some
they saw their
eyebrows.
opportunity, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yep. They were-
Yeah. But
but yeah,
good,
Henry-
good people over there. A lot of good people that I love over at Catch.
yeah, remember us when we
Nice.
go. I mean, that's a we're such a big podcast. That's a lot of free advertisement there. So.
I did notice you have a little product placement. I did notice we're members mark. So shout out to Sam's Club.
Shout out Sam's if they want to.
They want to sponsor anything.
Us. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
What's your take on restaurant reviews? Are you of the mindset of 5 stars or no stars?
No. Well, I mean, I'll say this: if it's not,
because it could be detrimental to a new restaurant, right?
Yeah.
If you give them a 1-2 star rating.
yeah, it can be. If I go somewhere and it's not 5 stars or 4,
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to tell anybody about it.
Okay.
I'll have people ask me if I've been to a certain place, and I'll say, yeah, I've been.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't see you say anything about it. Yeah, I know. Then you're not going to see me.
That was
say,
on purpose.
You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah.
Again, my palate is not your palate. So
Yeah.
you may love a place that
Yeah.
I had a bad experience at.
That's right.
Who am I to get on there and say, well, I had a horrible meal at this place and no one else should go?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to take someone else's livelihood from them
Yeah.
because I didn't care for it. There's places that I don't care for.
Can you tell going into a new restaurant, being where you are now, can you tell if that restaurant will succeed or not by your first meal there?
Sometimes, sure.
Just from the experience?
Yeah,
and
sometimes.
How the
I mean,
food
if it's a
tastes?
new place, there's a new spot that just opened on 12 South. I'm not going to name any names because I'm going to get in trouble. They just opened. I'm really looking forward to going. It's a new spot to Nashville. There are other locations elsewhere. Really looking forward to going. I already kind of have a preconceived notion that it's going to be a hit, because I know who these people are.
Yeah.
I think we'll go. I think we'll have a good time. If we don't, it's probably a me problem.
Yeah.
Because I know who they are. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But there are times I'll go into a place and like, man,
Worried about them.
they're going to be closed in 6 months, and I'm usually
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
But there's
Yeah.
a little bit of that, like, I'll give you an example. There's a little bit of benefit of the doubt that I think people are really quick to rate a restaurant or give their opinion on their first visit. When maybe you should give it another chance. Maybe you should go back.
Sure.
It could have been, whatever reason.
yeah,
Right.
I like to give people a few chances.
Is it best to your point there? Is it best, Sam and Chad, to wait 3-4 weeks after a place opens then go?
I don't know. I don't
Is it
know
going to
that-
be any different?
I'm like Ricky Bobby, man. I'm first or last.
First or last.
First or last? Okay.
I want to be the first one in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already name dropped some restaurants. We did a little, like, some friends, and Haley and I went to House of Cards Saturday night and ate. And I will tell you, whenever I saw where we were going, I wasn't super excited. The only other time that I had been there was for brunch, and I was like, it was average. It was fine, is kind of what I thought about it. And we went for dinner Saturday night, and I was absolutely blown away.
Sure.
It was absolutely delicious.
Well, and I think too, the same restaurant can be great
Yes.
at one thing. You have to know what to order.
That's
Like,
right.
You know what I mean? I've gone to a place that I loved and tried something new.
And been like,
I'm like, man, I should have just ordered
Yeah.
what I always get.
yeah. I was
They're great at it.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
Like Saturday night, I was like, this is kind of what I expected the first time.
Right. What's so great about them too is the entertainment value.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it was so cool. I'm still thinking about a magic trick that they did that
I haven't been. So I need to go.
I have no idea how
time?
they did it. Yeah. Let's
I can make a call.
Yeah.
You want to go?
yeah, we
I
should
do want to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they had evidently they don't do a lot of like tandem magicians for the show, and this pair is doing like a small residency, I guess there, and they did a trick, and this doesn't give anything away because none of us are going to know how they did it. They tell you to pull out your phone and your calculator, zero it out, and they like go to around the room. And they're like, Sam, what time were you born? Sam gives 2:15 or whatever time he was born. They go to this other
Like
random
time
person.
of day you were born?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, put
Which
that
is
in.
a magic trick in and of itself.
Yes.
For you to remember.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I don't know.
And here's the
Can I
thing.
call my mom real quick?
And I don't know if the person remembers or it's a guesstimate, right?
Sure,
The
yeah,
number,
right.
the number doesn't really matter.
Yeah. You could just make something up and the
Yes.
trick would probably still work.
Still works.
Yeah.
If it did, I'm even more blown away.
Right.
Well, they go to this person, then they go to the next person. What date were you born? And it's, like 10, 15, right? And then the year. Then they go to the next person, and it was like, what's your zip code where you're from? Long story short, they do all these adding togethers, and it was other things that they added in there. They hit equals, and it equaled the freaking date that it was and time.
Wow.
Like, how does that happen? So I'm still blown away at like how they get to this conclusion.
Yeah.
It's dark, you were drinking, and you just believed whatever they told you.
I think that's it. But
It's going to make a great reel.
yeah, I mean, I'm still.
There's a
blown
lot of
away.
mathematical tricks out there.
This one, I'm telling you, I'm going to find these people on the YouTube and send it. I don't like. I'm not like a magic person anyway. So whatever.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it was like it blew me away.
Yeah.
On top of a really good meal. So
Right.
that was.
I think you posted about that and said you were still unsure about the magic tricks or something like that, right?
I mean, I'm almost a week separated from it. And I'm still trying to figure out how in the hell that they did that.
Oh, so, Sam, what's the? I know you got Foodies in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Is your goal to expand outside of Nashville?
No.
No, just staying with Nashville. Okay.
I don't know the food scene in those other. It's like
Yeah.
being a realtor. I'm not going to list a house in Knoxville. I could if I wanted to. I'm licensed in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Was. But I don't know that market. I'm not trying to, not trying to go there.
Sure.
I've been to a lot of different places and had great meals in other states and other countries, but that's why it's so hard for me to do Foodies is because I don't live in Central Florida. So you know what I mean? I
have to live and know the
can't see a
culture.
new restaurant open up and get in the car and be there in 5 minutes, like I can here.
And
So-
Foodies in Nashville includes the surrounding area.
It does. We don't really preclude or exclude any area. If you go to Toronto and have a great meal and want to tell us about it,
Post about
go
it.
for it.
Yeah.
If you're going on vacation, you're going to Vegas and you want to know what's good over there, we have 65,000 people that most of them probably maybe have been and can give you a good
Or had just
recommendation.
moved here or something. Yeah.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So we don't exclude other areas. I know people get mad at me sometimes that it's Foodies of Nashville. Why are you talking about Charlotte? Because they got good food over in Charlotte.
'Cause that's
and
where I
somebody
was,
just
and it was
went
good.
and it was good and they want to tell us about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're ever in.
So, right. So if
Yeah.
you're ever over there, check
Yeah,
this place
check
out.
this.
I want to know. We're going to go to France next year, and I know people in FON that have been.
Yes.
I'm going to ask them what I should check out
Yeah.
when we're over there.
Yeah,
Because they've been.
I was going to ask you, what's the number one place you want to go to check out their food scene?
Probably. France, Lyon.
Leon?
Culinary
Yeah.
capital of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so looking forward to that.
So you're going next year in the summer?
Next July, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to start in
How long?
Avignon. It's a river cruise with Viking. It's a 8-day.
Oh, that's
cruise.
right.
Yeah.
I thought I saw you put that out. Did you get
So
group members to
FON
come?
group, yeah, exactly. It's some of our FON group members, so it's a
that's cool.
group thing.
Yeah.
It's a group experience. Anybody wants to go, you can still come.
You
There's
got seats still
space.
available?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go, Jason.
What's the cost? $30K?
No, it's actually it's a lot more reasonable than I expected it to be per person. I think for double occupancy per person, it's right around $3,000, $3,500.
That's not
So a
bad.
couple can go for
Yeah.
$6,000 or $7,000. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost cheaper than Disney.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
So it doesn't include
is that meal-
airfare.
is
You
that-
got to
is that
fly. You got to
meals
get over
included?
there. It includes 2 meals a day, all your
Okay.
beer and wine.
Really?
Yeah.
And so this
Pretty
is
sweet
the
deal.
Viking River Cruise. Okay, and you're going to go just
We're
through
gonna-
France?
Yeah, it's just up the Rhone River. So we're going
Okay.
to start in Avignon. We're going to sail up to Lyon. We're going to be there over Bastille Day, which I'm really looking forward to. That's a bucket list item for me. So
That's really cool.
check out.
You need.
Some of the
I need to
top
sell my
spots
wife
over
on
there.
doing that. I wouldn't mind doing that at all.
You should do it.
Come on.
Anniversary
Yeah,
trip.
Yeah.
It's past our
Your kids are
anniversary,
old
but-
enough. You can leave them
You'll
here.
have
Leave
an
them with grandma,
anniversary
grandpa.
again.
Yeah, it's true. It sounds like a great time.
I mean, I hope you will.
I hope so too.
I mean, I don't know. You keep being mean about Nolan's injury. You might.
I know, man.
You might not see another anniversary.
I'm in the doghouse a little bit right now. 22 years we'll be married though, so it's a long time.
Book
man.
the trip.
Yeah.
Get with Sam. Book the trip.
Yeah.
I won't tell Stephanie.
Okay. Yeah, and this won't come out till probably later. So
There you go.
so I had to ask you about this because I know you're a food guy.
Mm-hmm.
You love food. You
do.
love to eat food more than you cook food, right?
Can you tell?
No, you look good.
Have you? Are you up for food challenges at all? Is that something that that you've thought about doing?
Like
or
the giant burger or the old 96er.
have you ever been about the food challenges?
The hot nacho?
You know, I have come close to doing them a couple of times, but
Okay.
I'm not trying to be miserable either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like Jack Brown's. They have
Yeah.
a fried Oreo eating challenge.
Yep.
I didn't know they
I
had
love
that.
fried Oreos, but I'm good for like 2.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not trying to be the hot dog contest winner,
oh,
hot dog eating contest. I like the idea of a food challenge, but I just want to be a spectator.
What was the show?
gotcha.
There was a show on the Food Network that Man
versus Food.
Man versus Food. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
that's
was
been
one.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That
on
was
for a
good.
long time. It
Yeah,
was
he
always
goes and eats the
freaking
giant
a
burger
that's like this big.
should feed 6 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pizza for 30.
Yeah, I'm sure his cardiologist loved him.
Yeah.
There's a few YouTubers out there that
Are doing that.
go around, and
Yeah.
it's
That's cool.
amazing
It's
what they eat.
Yeah, and I mean, like the hot dog guy, he's thin as a rail. Like, where does it go?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's
how
a
you
lady.
eat 100
There's a
hot
lady that's
dogs.
up there too, right? A small Asian lady. That,
Yeah.
Isn't the hot dog guy, what's his name? Joey Chestnut?
Yeah.
Isn't he like vegan or something now?
I don't know.
Or vegetarian? But
You know what? That may be the case because there was a controversy with the who does the hot? Is it Nathan's?
Nathan's.
So he had evidently done something with another, and that's
Yes.
why he was booted from the contest. They wouldn't let him compete.
Yeah, I think
That's what it was. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know if it was a vegan. I don't know what the circumstances
People are going to
were.
fact check us, I'm sure.
They are.
Vegan hot dogs. Is that what he? Speaking
I'm
of,
out.
speaking of that, what's the
Hot dogs are already questionable.
Yeah,
I don't
now we're
need. I don't need a fake hot dog.
Fake hot dog. Hot dog's already fake.
a vegan hot dog has to be one of the worst foods that you could eat
Ever invented.
ever invented.
It's got to be bad.
I've
not
tried
had
it.
one.
It's not good.
I've
at
not
all.
had one.
No,
I'm going to take your word for
It's
it.
not good.
There's a few things. I say I'll try anything once. There's a few things that I probably wouldn't. and
That I'll
that's-
draw the line.
That's one of them.
Yeah, I think I'm out on that.
So, can you be a foodie and be a healthy food eater?
I think so,
you can,
absolutely.
right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about in anything. You can be super healthy and just moderation.
Yeah, I mean, everybody always says everything in moderation. I don't necessarily live by that rule, but again, a foodie, in my opinion, a foodie is you eat what you like. If you only want to have
Chicken and broccoli.
skinless, boneless chicken breast grilled and fish and salad, and you enjoy that, I don't think that doesn't make you a foodie.
Yeah.
You're just way healthier than I am.
That's true.
I think I will not get. It's a long quote, but we're talking foods and chefs, but Anthony Bourdain has the quote where it's basically like, enjoy the beer,
Right.
enjoy the drink, enjoy the food.
Well, and he always
Enjoy
said,
the
your
company."
body's not a temple, it's a roller coaster. Enjoy the ride, right? That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Bourdain quotes.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked that. He basically says, go to the local restaurant, order their, whatever they recommend, enjoy the company of the local people. Like,
Eat the homemade sauce or whatever, right?
yeah, eat whatever is there, eat it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, I'll second that. I'm good with that. And you can still be healthy doing it.
Sure.
I think so. I think I don't know. I think it's easier to eat healthier these days, but also at the same time, fast food grabs us away because of how quick it is too.
I almost
Right?
think that's a little bit, not to knock the fast food stuff, but to add to the healthy side. If you look at a menu or a dish that Sam's going to be eating at some restaurant, it ain't fake, right?
Right.
I would argue that whatever calorie content the good meal has is going to be better for you than those Double Ducker tacos.
Yeah, I would agree. Sure.
Because it's real ingredients.
It may not
it's
be
real.
as good for you as if you were eating at home because
Right.
you're
True.
probably eating a pound of butter in every
Yeah.
dish.
Yeah, for
at,
sure.
At the restaurant. But comparatively, I think
Yeah.
you're probably right.
The vegetables are probably sourced from a good source. The protein is sourced from a good source.
Right.
I would tell you that I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
So what's next for Sam?
I don't know.
You don't know?
We have an app for Apple and Android users. We have a loyalty program and it's kind of a discount program.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of restaurants and other business, not just food and beverage, but we have other businesses that have signed on to offer exclusive discounts for our members. We have a pretty big audience, so we thought, hey, let's push this out. And our business partners are on there. It doesn't cost them anything to be a part of the app. Outside of whatever discount or promotion they offer our users, of course. Like if you're getting
So it's a Foodie of Nashville
10%
app.
off your bill or 20% off your bill or a free bag of chips with your sandwich or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a
Foodies of Nashville
Foodies
app.
of Nashville
Is that
app.
what is it going to on the App
Just
Store?
Foodies
FON?
of yeah,
Or
you can
Foodies of
search
Nashville?
Foodies of Nashville. It'll pop up.
And it's released already? Out?
It's on the Apple App Store now.
Yeah, you hear that?
Okay.
Again, I
'Cause
know
it
we
was
talked
so
a little bit
easy.
earlier about I'm an Android guy.
Yeah.
I've had a Samsung phone for at least the last 10 years, probably longer.
I noticed our green text and texting. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Android app is coming. It's still in review.
Okay.
They had, it's a little bit more working parts over at the Android store than it is for the iOS
Yeah.
users. But it'll be out soon. But it's available for Apple.
I'm going to download that.
Sam, I could see you eventually. I don't know if you thought about it before, but being a consultant of sort in the restaurant food industry.
I know just enough to get in trouble.
Yeah. You would
Somebody
be, you would be a
else-
good consultant in the restaurant business.
Well, I mean, I know what I like, right? I
Yeah.
know what I think works. Like, if I go into a restaurant, I see that they're doing certain things, like that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You go and you see that other restaurants aren't doing that, but I don't think I'm the guy to tell them that. I mean, I'm just a foodie.
I got you.
Sam just likes good food.
I'm just a foodie. That's the way we'll end it.
I just
a
like
foodie.
good food.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not the Dom of Nashville.
Okay.
I hate the word influencer. Somebody said, well, we're getting you and some other influencers. I'm like, pump the brakes. I don't.
That's. I'm sure that's the way a lot of people come at you, right?
Probably, yeah.
That you are an influencer.
Again, another negative connotation, influencer. I
Yeah,
don't
it can-
like that word.
Yeah, it can
but,
be very negative.
I just want to see people win. I want to go have good
Yeah.
food. I
Yeah.
want to, you know what I mean?
Maybe
I want to
the-
try as many restaurants. There's like, God, just Nashville alone, there's probably 10, 15,000 restaurants. Just Nashville.
Maybe
I want to try all
That's
of them.
so many.
That's all I
I
wanna
didn't
do.
think there was that many.
It's a lot.
maybe that's the best kind of influencer though. Is the one that's doing it for the right reasons.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You want to do some rapid fire?
Yeah. So Sam, every week, every podcast we do some rapid fire questions. If
All
it's
right.
okay, we'll
Yep.
ask you a few questions. Answer honestly, quickly.
Okay.
We use rapid fire loosely, like
It is loose.
because we're going to want to elaborate on some things. Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan, all day.
He's always going to win. Hey, something else we're going to start doing in rapid fire. We need to keep a tally of iPhone versus Android, just to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know that Sam is. I was going to say Apple or Android. He's Android. We won't hold that against him, but that's
Thank
going to be we're going to start doing.
It's all right.
Burger or Philly cheesesteak?
Oh, Jesus. Cheesesteak.
Ooh.
Ooh, really?
All right.
A good
Shocked me
cheesesteak
there.
will win every time.
Okay.
Okay.
Go check out It's a
I
Philly
can't
thing.
disagree with you.
Yeah.
I want to try that place. Matt was telling me about it yesterday.
There's a few good cheesesteaks in Nashville. It's a Philly thing is probably
We
the
need
best
more.
one. We need more.
We need
Yeah.
more.
You hear that, Philly?
Yeah. Bring some cheesesteaks.
Come to Nashville.
Yeah. Best thing you ever ate?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know.
This is one of the entry questions. When you join Foodies of Nashville, Facebook groups,
Yeah.
you can answer questions to make sure that you're not a bot or whatever.
Yeah.
That's actually one of our questions. What's one of the best things you've ever eaten?
Yeah.
So many people don't answer it.
Really?
They're still
Or they
searching.
say, I don't know, or I've had so many, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a tough question, man.
It's a horrible question.
I mean, a lot of it revolves around who was I with?
Yep. It's the
I
second
think
most intimate
company-
thing you can do.
Yeah. What's the first?
Maybe the better question is, what's been your favorite dining experience?
I can tell you, okay, I have a few, but the very first thing that comes to mind when anybody asks me what one of my favorite meals was,
Yep.
it was in Orlando. It was on Disney property, but it was not a Disney restaurant. Morimoto has a spot in Disney Springs,
Yep.
and he does an omakase meal at their sushi bar in 2018. This is before FON existed. No, maybe shortly after. This was September of 2018. I went down by myself. I know this is weird for a 30-something-year-old dude to be by himself at Disney, but stick with me. I went down. It was during Food and Wine. I wanted to do a few things that my kids and wife, they don't care about. We were going for fall break, so I snuck down the weekend before by myself. Had omakase at Morimoto. I was the only one that night. So I had the undivided attention of both the chef for the evening and the sous.
Yeah.
I was the only one there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just the food.
It wasn't
was
just the food. The experience
Yeah.
was great. I mean, Daniel Mallet he still works for Morimoto. He's not at that restaurant anymore. He's at another spot. And then Kaiseki, who's actually a sushi chef at a restaurant he's in Canada. I think he's not in Toronto. Anyway, he's in Canada now. But it was me and the two of them for 3-ish hours.
Dang.
It was phenomenal.
That's awesome.
I mean, I'll share the post later, so I'll link you. I'll
do
text
that.
it to you so you can see it. But
Yeah.
it was nine. It was a 10-course meal. The 9th course was the nigiri portion of the meal, which was 9 individual. So it ended up being like 20 different courses, if you will.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it was phenomenal. That's probably one of my favorite meals ever in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love it. That's
It was
incredible. That's
awesome.
good. You got one?
Beer or bourbon?
I'm going to say bourbon with a qualifier. It depends on the season. I love bourbon in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll drink
It's
it
time
year
for
round,
it.
but I love bourbon in the fall.
Yeah.
Favorite cocktail?
Boulevardier.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We've had a lot of people say old fashioned or a margarita.
Now, if I go to a spot I've never been to before, I do typically order an old fashioned, because if you screw up an old fashioned, you're probably
Yeah,
going to
you
screw up the rest.
Yeah.
If you get an old fashioned
true.
right, you're in.
Yeah.
So I use that as a qualifier sometimes when I go to a new spot. But Boulevardier.
This is probably unfair, and maybe I shouldn't ask you. Mount Rushmore of Nashville restaurants.
Pass.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't have to.
I have so many
Well,
favorites.
Mount Rushmore
man.
gives him the opportunity to say 3 or
There's
4,
four,
right?
right? I can give you four answers.
4.
There's so many good spots in Nashville.
If you were okay, let me rephrase that, because this may help foodies of Nashville or somebody that's coming in town. If somebody were coming to town in Nashville for a long weekend, give us 4 or 5 different places that they should. And it doesn't have to be like, hey, you ought to try one of these spots. Something different that not everybody. A lot of people know about certain places. Maybe a couple off the beaten path.
Yeah. Like Nashville proper, like if they're going to be like downtown doing the touristy thing.
Yeah, maybe, or close enough.
Yeah. We don't go downtown a lot.
Yeah.
If and when we do, I don't really usually go past like Printer's Alley area. I like that side of town. Black Rabbit is over there in Baker's Alley. Black Rabbit's a good spot.
Never been there before.
I really like Deacon's. Like if you want a steakhouse, an affordable, it's not, going to be your $96, filet at bourbon steak. It's, not that there's anything wrong with that, but Deacon's is probably a good spot, kind of chill, low key, good place.
Because I know people do this to you.
They do. They put me on the spot, just like you, Chad.
Yeah, I know people do that to
Those
you.
are 2 good
put you
spots
on
I've
the
never
spot.
heard of before.
But I know people do that because they do it even to me when they're coming in town. Hey man, where should I eat?
I get all the time, hey, we're coming in, where should we go?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
You probably get a ton of private messages asking you that, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to, if I can find out where you're staying, if you have a car, transportation, or you're walking,
Yeah, give me a proximity.
I'll pull up a map and I'll find a few spots, like if I want barbecue downtown,
Yep.
Peg Leg Porker's over in the Gulch.
Yep.
Kerry Bringles,
Yep.
he knows what he's doing. So Peg Leg if you want barbecue,
If you want a smash burger, go to there's tons.
You've already mentioned them, but Cletus.
Cletus for sure.
I'm probably going right over there.
Yep.
Now, if you're in Nashville, though, if you go to East Nashville, Red-Headed Stranger.
Yeah.
It's a good spot. They got a great smash burger with, gosh, I can't remember what all
Green
on it.
Hatch Chilies.
Thank you. That's why you're here.
It's
Green Hatch
fantastic.
Chilies.
Yeah.
So good.
I tell you, go to Gabby's.
Gabby's is a good spot.
Yeah.
If you can get there when they're open,
Yeah.
you have to
Yeah,
find
that's
that
right.
sweet spot. Makeshift is another spot over. Trying to think of what street they're on. I think they're on Dickerson, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. They're again weird hours, but great smash burgers.
Are you a hot chicken guy?
I love hot chicken.
Okay.
I'm not answering the best one.
Not
ask
a best one. not a best one.
What flavor? What heat level?
Yeah. What heat level?
Normally, on a scale of like 1 to 10, if they've got a 1 to 10 scale, I go like 8, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Party foul, if you're listening, poltergeist is.
Too hot?
Yeah. For those of you that are out of town,
Don't do it.
don't
Right.
do poltergeist.
Yeah,
You are asking for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you real estate or food, but I think we already know the answer
Yeah. We've
to that.
established that.
Food's more fun.
Food's more fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't have any more.
Food is sexy. Real estate, I mean, it can be sexy.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Both.
For sure.
One final meal. What are you having?
Ossobuco.
Oh.
That's my death row meal.
Yeah. With like on top of like mashed potatoes type.
Polenta, preferably, and I'm gonna suck every last bit of bone marrow out of
marrow.
that thing.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
That's my last meal.
That's a good one.
Ossobuco.
Good answer.
You got any else? Any others?
I don't.
Sam, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having
Sam.
me.
Thanks for letting me
Enjoyed
come
that
on.
one.
Yeah.
Everybody follow us, NexGen Podcast.
Yep.
Give us a
Yep.
shout out,
Yep.
comment, like. Let us know what you think.
Download the Foodies in Nashville app and
Yep.
go figure out where you should eat. Go
Absolutely.
try a bunch of them.
Look forward to having you on again, man.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. See you, everybody.
Hey Matt, I don't think Will was a good attention to detail. Will you tell me when I got a freaking rooster thing coming on the back?
I don't know. Will you stop shitting on the birds?
No, I'm not. I didn't shit on the birds. I just said they lost.